Hello friends and welcome back to our channel Study Quiz. In the previous videos we have done at least 3 chapters we have completed, that is sequence and series. We have completed inequalities as well as the quadratic equations. If you haven't gone through them, then please do watch those videos. I think they'll be of much help to you. So in today's video session we are going to deal with the binomial expansion, that is a chapter given to us. Before starting with it, let me tell you that we are doing the entire crash course for ISC class 11th. So please join us, please join our channel so that we may work together, work hard so that we can get the results. Okay, so let's start with this chapter quickly. That is basically the binomial expansion or the binomial theorem. First of all, by the name itself, can you just see binomial? Like it is binomial and then I am saying expansion. Let me just see that what do we mean by it. Okay, so binomial, bi means 2. So bi here is referring to 2. So binomial it is there, right? Binomial, and then we have expansion. Expansion means to expand something. Right? Expansion means to expand something. Like a certain small thing is there, to make it large, to expand it out, that is expansion. So we are going to deal with the expansion of certain terms. What kind of terms? We'll see to it. Now, if I ask you to write x plus y whole square. We have learnt the general formula in previous classes. We can quickly say that it is equal to x square plus 2xy plus y square. Can I say this? Right? We have, and if we know this thing, x plus y is equal to x plus y only. I can write, right? And the third one, that if I say to you to write the formula or write the expansion of x plus y whole cube, then can we write it? Because we have learned the formula. That means we have it as x cube plus 3x square y plus 3xy square plus y cube. Till here I can easily write because I have learned the formula in the previous classes. If suppose I ask you to write down x plus y raised to the power 5, can we write it now? No, because we haven't learned the formula only. If I ask you to write x plus y whole raised to the power of 100, can we write this? Obviously not. Right? So to expand these terms, now see, binomial, so two terms you are having here, x and y. In place of x and y, you can have any terms, any numbers you can have, any digits you can have, right? And there we are expanding them. Are we expanding them? Yes. So that is why it becomes my binomial expansion. And so we are going to deal in this particular chapter, we are going to see that how to expand these two terms when the powers to which these terms are raised, they are very big. Or even if they are not very big, then there must be certain formula by which we can expand them. And these also, there must be certain formula by which we are getting this formula. How can you simply say that this x plus y whole square is equal to this? So that we are going to see, and by our observations only. In the previous video we have also seen the things, inequalities and all by observations. Here also we will be observing the things and we will reach to a certain formula so that you don't have to learn that, okay, and so that you can see. Now let me just quickly rub it all and we'll write it properly, and then you all also can solve it with me, along with me, so that you can also see that what are the observations that we can make out from these only the three expansions which we have learnt. That means the first expansion was x plus y, that is equal to x plus y only simply, right? Second one is x plus y whole square, that is equal to x square plus 2xy plus y square. And third expansion is x plus y whole cube, that means x cube plus 3x square y plus 3xy square plus y cube. Now, see the first thing that we will observe here. Here my power, if it is like nothing is there, it means I have a power 1. See, when my power to which this binomial was raised was 1, I was getting two terms, 1 and 2. These are two terms. Now how to see which are the terms? If you have a plus sign in between, then these are two separate terms. But if I would have got xy multiplication, or if it would have been x upon y, then this was my one proper term. Okay, this was my one term. These two separated with the help of addition sign or subtraction sign, they become my terms. So in this one, this expansion, I was having two terms. Power is 1, 2 terms. Power is 2, I am getting 3 terms over here. Power is 3, I am getting 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 terms I am getting. That means, let us say we are deriving the formula for the general term raised to the power n. Let n be the general term to which we are deriving the formula, for which we are deriving this formula. That means, one thing that I have observed from these three is that whenever my power is going to be n, then I will be having n plus 1 terms. Is it clear? I will be having n plus 1 terms. So that means in this expansion, if I will do, then I will be having n plus 1 terms I will be having. Now, after this, let us see the second observation. Now, second thing that we can observe here is, if you see, then in this x was x power 1 and plus y raised to the power 1, right? In this we were having x raised to the power 1 was there, x raised to the power 3 is there. Here you see x raised to the power 3, x raised to the power 2 and x raised to the power 1. That means, if I was having the power as 3, whole power was 3, that means I will be having all 3 powers for x, 3, and here, when my x is not written, that means I can write x raised to the power 0. If here my x is not written, that means in this one, can I write x raised to the power 0? X raised to the power 0 is 1. So, I am having it from x raised to the power 0 to x raised to the power 1 in this. From x raised to the power 0 to x raised to the power 2 in this. And then here, x raised to the power 0 to x raised to the power 3. That means x powers are increasing. Now, if I see this from this side, then my x powers are decreasing. That means x raised to the power 3 it was, then x raised to the power 2 it is, x raised to the power 1 it is, and x raised to the power 0 it is. Starting from 3, because my highest power was 3. Then here 2, x raised to the power 2, x raised to the power 1, and x raised to the power 0. Here I was having x raised to the power 1, so I x raised to the power 1 and x raised to the power 0. Is it clear? And y, if you see, then it is following the opposite order. That means y raised to the power 0 and y raised to the power 1. Similar will follow for the similar trend will be followed here. So in this you can see this is y raised to the power 0, y raised to the power 1, y raised to the power 2, and finally you are getting y raised to the power 3. That means this term, that is 3, to which this binomial was raised. Are we getting it? So we have observed now another thing, that means x powers which are there, they are going to decrease if you move from left to right, and y powers they are going to increase as you move from left to right. So x power is going to increase. Is it increasing or decreasing? Decreasing. So x power will decrease and y's power will increase. This was something, this was the other thing that we observed. Now, there is one more thing that we can observe. Before observing that thing, let us understand one concept, and that is of combination. Now let me tell you what do we mean by combinations. There is a particular chapter on it, we will be doing it later on, combinations and permutations. Before that, let me give you a brief introduction what is combinations and what is factorial. Factorial, first of all, let us see what do we mean by factorial. Factorial means that the product that is there of n terms. Product of n terms is said to be the factorial. That means starting from 1 to nth term. Whatever be the nth term, when we write all of them and we calculate the product of them, multiplication of them, then that is known as a factorial. That means if I say 5 factorial, 5 factorial means the product of first 5 terms from 1 to 5. That means 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. Similarly, if I say n factorial, then that means 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into up till n. Right? So that is the meaning of factorial. That means the product of the first n natural numbers. N is there, that means the first and natural numbers product. If it is factorial 10, that means the product of the first 10 natural numbers. That is the meaning of factorial. Now, After we represent it like this, with this sign, simple, like this. You have exclamatory sign over here. Like this we represented n factorial. This means, how do we read it? This is n factorial. N factorial. This is 2 factorial. 2 factorial means 1 into 2. If I have 3 factorial, then that means 1 into 2 into 3. So this is 3 factorial. Right? Is it clear? Now, after this we have the combination. So what do we mean by combination? Combination basically refers to the selection of a certain group of things. Wait, if I have, let's say, I have got A, B, C and D with me, right? Now from these 4 terms which are given to me, I have to select any 2 terms. Say any 2 terms I have to select. Apart from this, no other condition is given to me. So I can select any 2 terms. I can select AB, I could have selected AC, I can select AD, I can even select CB, I can select CD. Can I select these all these terms? This is combination. That means, or they would have given to us to make a combination of all these 4 terms also. That was also possible. So combination here means that selection of all or a certain number of things out of the given number of things. We are selecting a certain number, that is 2, or the all number of things from the provided number of things. That is a combination part, and it is irrespective of the arrangement of those things. If we do the arrangement part, then that is different thing, that is permutations altogether. But here, irrespective of the positions we are doing, that means I can either take B first or I can take A first. That is not a matter of consideration over here. So that is a combination part. So is it clear to us? That means we have, what is combination? That is basically selection of a group or of a group of things or altogether all things from a certain group of things. Then that is the basically known as combination. That is basically known as combination. Now, how do we solve problems related to combination? So, on combination, if you say, like, let us suppose that n number of things are provided to us, right? N number of things are given to us and we have to select r number of things from them. That means, like this only, if it was, like we were having A, B, C, D, that means what? 4 number of things are given to us, and so this 4 which is there, now in our case it is becoming n, and we have to select, we were selecting 2 things from it, so that 2 is becoming r over here. So how I read it as, we write it as n, c, r, like this we write it as n, c and then r. Either you can write it like this or simply you can write it as n, c, r in a straight line also, or like this also. Generally this is the method we prefer writing. What does it mean? How do we read it? This means the combination of n things are taken at a time. Combination of n things are taken at a time. This is the representation for it. Combination of n things are taken at a time. How to solve it? Formula for this is n factorial upon r factorial into n minus r factorial. You just remember this formula. When we'll do permutations and combination, we'll go deep into it, right? So NCR also you can read it as, or simply n, the combination of n things are taken at time, that is equal to n factorial upon r factorial into n minus r factorial. That is a simple formula that we have to learn, right? Now, this was the basics that we were studying. Now let us come to the topic that we were already discussing. Now why are we introducing this concept of combination in the binomial expansion? So see, in this it was simple. Now, if nothing is written over here, then can I write it as, basically how many terms are there? 2. Is it 2? If I do 2c0, let us suppose that it is 2c0. If I write it as 2c0, then what will be my answer? I'll get 2 factorial upon 2 minus 0 factorial into 0 factorial. The value for 0 factorial is 1. Please remember the value for 0 factorial is 1. So 2 factorial, that means 1 into 2 upon, this is 1 only, and 2 minus 0 means 2. 2 factorial, that is 1 into 2 into 1. This all cancel out, that means I am having 1 with me. So if I don't write anything or if I write 1, will it make any change? No. So this is 1 over here, 1x, right? Similar will be for y, this is 1 times. 1 times means I can, in place of this 1, can I write 2c0? Can I write it? 2c0. Now why this 2 is coming over here? Because let us see, because we were having two numbers, this thing we were having. That is why we are having 2 over here. Now another thing we see in this one, again we can write it as, since we are having 3 terms, similar will be for 3c0. If I write, then I'll get 3 factorial upon 3 minus 3 factorial into 0 factorial. 0 factorial is 1 and 3 factorial getting cancelled. So my answer is again 1. So I can write it as 3c0. Now if I see 2, how can I get 2? If I simply write 3c1. If I write 3c1, then what am I going to get? If I write 3c1, then what will be my answer? Actually, this is not going to be 2c0, it will be 1c0. Over here we will have 1c0, because 1c0 also if you are going to solve, you will get the same value, 1 factorial upon 1 factorial into 0 factorial, that makes it 1 altogether. And over here the power was 2, so we will be writing 2. This is 2c0, right? So 2c0, that means 2c0 will become 1, and now if I say 2c1, then that is what? 2 factorial upon 2 minus 1, that is 1 factorial into 1 factorial. That is 1 into 2, that is equal to 2. So am I getting 2 over here? Yes, I was having 2 only here. This is 2 over here. And then I can see, if I see 2c2, then what will be my answer? 2 factorial upon 2 factorial minus 0, that is 2 factorial only. And into, what will be there? 2 minus 2 factorial, that is 0 factorial. This getting cancelled, this is 1. So I have 1 over here again. This is 2c0, 2c1 and 2c2. And similarly, if you solve for this, then you will get 3c0, 3c1, 3c2 and 3c3 you will get. Okay. So this is another thing that I have observed from here, that my factorial is going to increase. My combinations, if you see, then the lower part of it, that means the rth term that we were selecting, then that is going to increase. That means what can be my general formula for it? I can simply write x plus y raised to the power n as nc0. I can start with n factorial. So that is n number of terms. So nc0. Then leaving this term right now, plus you will have nc1, this entire term, plus you will have some other term up till what? Up till you will have it till ncn. Will it be up till ncn we are going to have it? And x, we have seen x is going in decreasing power. X power is decreasing, but starting from what? Starting from the power that was there. That means x is going to have the power as n. Over here x is going to have power n minus 1. Over here, that means it will be having up till what power? Raised to the power 0. Right? Now can I see that n minus 0, if I do, then it is 0 only. N minus 0 is n. Right? So can I write it as n minus 0? That will also be n. N minus 1 it is there. And it is n minus n, that is 0. Is it clear? Now y. Y is having increasing power. But starting from what? Starting from 0. So y raised to the power 0. Y raised to the power 1. Up till, this will go on increasing up till y raised to the power n. Can we see this thing? Y is having the same power as well this part. That means 0 was there, so it was also having 0. Here we had 1. This is 1. Here we had n, so it is having n. This is my general formula I have got. This is how I have to solve it. It means x plus y raised to the power n. So n is there. So n we will write over here, and this will have combination with 0. Starting from 0 up till whatever n power is given, up till that we will have. X will have the decreasing powers, as you have seen from here only. So the first power will be n only, then we'll have n minus 1, n minus 2 up till 0, and then y will have increasing power starting from 0 and ending till n. And that is why only, since you are having things starting from 0, you have from 0 up till n. So how many terms you are going to have? N plus 1. Because if you start from 1 up till n, you will have n terms. If you start from 0, that means 1 more. Up till n, then you will have n plus 1 terms. That is why this expansion will have n plus 1 terms. You can solve any example. X plus y raised to the power 5 if it is there. Then we will start with 5c 0. X will have the power 5. Then y will have the power 0. Up till what? nc n. X will have the power 0 and y will have the power 5. Right? So this is how we have to solve it. This was the formula that we have seen. We have seen the binomial expansion. We have seen combination and factorial part also. Now, with this formula that we have seen, let us quickly see now what will be the r plus 1th term. What will be our r plus 1th term? So, let us see what is going to be our r plus 1th term. So, t r plus 1 I can write it as r plus 1th term. Now, what was the formula? Just recall it. Was it this? Right? Now, if I have to get the r plus 1th term, since I am starting from 0, that means this is my second term. This is my second term. This is my first term. This is my second term. Let us say I have to get my second term. Let us derive for second term right now from this only. If I was to get my second term, then what was I having? I was having nc 2 minus 1. 1 I can write it as 2 minus 1. And this x was having the power as n. This was n only minus 1. Minus 1 means this one. That means 1 I am going to write 1 only. And y was having the power as 1. That means this thing. This. Whatever thing I have written over here, then I can write it as, actually if it is a second term, then I was writing it like this. Okay. The second term I am getting here. So second term was having 1 over here. 2 minus 1, that is 1 was here. That means we have seen this thing, that if it is my r plus 1th term, then I will be writing r over here. If it is my r plus 1th term, I will be writing r over here. If it is my n plus 1th term, then I will be writing n down. If it is my, let us say third term. If it is my third term, then I am going to write nc2 over here. So that means 1 less. So if it is r plus 1, then I am going to write r over here. And then x, how are we writing x? That was n minus r, and y we were writing as r. This is my formula for the general term, that is if I have to get my r plus 1th term, then that is equal to ncr x raised to the power n minus r and y raised to the power r. Is it clear? This was my r plus 1th term. Now after this, just two simple things are left out. First one is a middle term. How are we going to get the middle term? Formula you have to apply the same. Now what will be the condition? If suppose I have got a formula like this, means my expansion has to be made of this thing. Right? X plus y raised to the power 6. Now of this we have to find the middle term. We know this thing, that if it is 6th power, then I am going to have 7 values. 7 terms are going to be there. Now when I have 7 terms, then definitely my 4th term will be the middle term. 3 this side. This is the 4th one. And 5, 6, 7. So 3 and 3 this side. Therefore this is the middle term that is there. So I can quickly calculate my 4th term. What will be my 4th term out of it? Can I see? What will be my 4th term? 6 c 4 minus 1, that is 3, and x raised to the power 6 minus 3, that is 3, and y raised to the power 3. So this will be my middle term. Now if I would have got instead of 5, 6, if it was 5 over here, then I was having 6 terms. Now when I have 6 terms, then can I say my 3rd term or the 4th term will be the middle term? No. because none of them, 3, 4, 5 and 6 terms I'll be having. So this either the third one or the fourth one, both of them can act as my middle terms, and so I'll be calculating both the terms, and both of them are going to be said to be my middle terms. So third and fourth both terms I'll be getting. So this was how you have to get the middle terms. If it is odd power is there over here, you'll get the even number of terms. Even number of terms means 2 middle terms. If you have even power over here, you will get odd number of terms, and once you get odd number of terms, you will get one middle term, right? Now, after this, we have this type of question also comes, in which they will be asking you to tell the term which is independent of x or which is independent of y. So questions will be asked based on this. That means the terms which is independent of x or the term which is independent of y. Then how are we going to solve it? So let that term which is independent of x, for this case being, let that term be t r plus 1. Let us assume that that term which is independent of x is r plus 1th term. What will be the formula for this term? We'll have it as NCR, x raised to the power n minus r and y raised to the power r. So by this method, by this formula, you solve for it. Now, whatever be the coefficient that you will get for x, after complete solving, reducing the terms, deducting them out, the last step that you will get, then whatever will be the coefficient, sorry, not the coefficient but the power of this x, that whole power of x which is there, that is going to be equal to 0. Why? Because it is independent of x. Independent of x means x raised to the power 0, it means 1. So x is not there only in that, right? So what we'll do, whatever we'll get after the deduction part, whatever be the value for x we are getting in the power, like suppose here we are having n minus r. So we'll put n minus r is equal to 0. Then you get n is equal to r from here. Then simply putting n is equal to r and r is already here. Then you can solve the value that was given to you, and you can simply get your answer. So this is nothing but the only thing that we were doing from the beginning was just the observation part, observing how were we getting the formulas. We haven't learned any formula till now. In this entire binomial expansion, we haven't learned anything. It was just the general observations that we were making, based on which we have derived our formulas, even for the tr plus 1, the general formula that was there, also for the middle term and this also term independent of x. Just the basic common sense we are using and a certain observations. That is all. So here we wind up with the chapter that is binomial expansion. Hope you will be helped by it. And please, again I am saying that we are introducing, this is a part of our crash course that is there for class 11 IST mainly. So please keep watching our videos so that you get the latest updates, and please do like, share and subscribe our channel. Stay tuned, stay connected. Thank you.